Hello, everyone. I am Jack Green, Board President, and it is my special pleasure to welcome everyone to the 2014 Innovation Summit Awards ceremonies. It is amazing to consider what has occurred during the last 12 months since we gathered for our last Innovation Summit. The 2013-2014 Spirit of Innovation Challenge broke every participation record we have had in our 7-year history. We began in August with more than 1,500 students in many countries joining together to create products and services to benefit humanity. Of those, an astounding 235 teams submitted projects. With the help of our many judges, of those original entries, 135 were eligible for advancement to the semifinals. Those students tackled an amazing challenge, creating business and technical plans and graphic conceptions for products that in only a few weeks before were conceptual ideas. Tonight, we gather to celebrate the 19 teams that stayed the course, did the work, and impressed the judges to make it to this, the final round of competition. Nancy Conrad created the Conrad Foundation in 2008 to honor the legacy of her late husband, Apollo astronaut Pete Conrad, the third man to walk on the moon. In doing so, she has created a revolution to energize and engage students in science, technology, and through entrepreneurial opportunities. That is our special sauce. It is inspiring to see firsthand Nancy's passionate commitment to being a tireless advocate for education. I can say that pretty well being the president of the board. Please help me welcome Nancy to the stage.
I now call Jack his lordship. Oh boy, I'm short. Is this okay? Can you hear me okay? Hi, guys. So, first of all, we've had some technical glitches today, and I want to congratulate all of you who got snagged in that web. I mean, you acted just like Pete Conrad. I was so proud of you. You know, when Pete took off in Apollo 12, they got struck by lightning, didn't quite know what to do. They lit up like a Christmas tree. And then on Skylab, the lab was damaged at launch, and they had to repair the lab. And you guys carried on with the same grit and perseverance as Pete Conrad, so I want to applaud you for that. Well, and I do have a few people I want to especially thank tonight. So, of course, Megan Campion from Lockheed Martin. Thank you, Megan. You are such a godsend. I may have to change you to her ladyship, Megan. And then, of course, Regina Schofield from Battelle, and Richard Black from PepsiCo, and Colleen Wellington Caban. How did I do? Awesome, from IPOEF. And then a special thanks to Max Q. Did we have fun dancing or what? And I'd also like to once again welcome and thank Dr. Chuck Cato for being here from Destination Imagination, our collaborator, our partner, and together we're going to take this to the moon, right? Okay. So stay tuned. There will be lots of new things happening. And then, of course, Richard Allen, where are you, Richard? Richard, thank you for letting us be here at your beautiful Space Center, Houston. We love it here. We look forward to being back here with you all next year. And so, I mean, we've talked about Pete's story before. You know his story and how he persevered and his trajectory to the moon and everything else. I don't know if we've talked enough about his entrepreneurial skills and his skills as an innovator. Pete had patents, and as Jack talked to you today about what that patent process is, well, Pete went through that process, and we had a company that did tracking for satellites on a multi-user base worldwide. There were tracking stations all over the world. So Pete was a tremendous entrepreneur, and in many ways he was really the father of commercial space. What Musk, Branson, and Bezos are doing now, Pete was doing in the early 90s. So it is so exciting for me to see all of you following in that trajectory of innovation and entrepreneurship that was so Pete, and his grit and perseverance, which you showed me today that you are just like him, and that really excited me. So thank you for you, and thank you for Pete, and I appreciate his legacy. So we've got a guy here tonight who's kind of a real character, just like my Pete. His name is Chip Yates, and he's full of beans, just like Pete Conrad was full of beans, and that's a good thing. And Chip is a builder and a pilot, and he built the world's fastest electronic motorcycle and the world's fastest electronic airplane. And he's one of the most recognized green technology innovators. He's amassed 18 electric vehicle world records in vehicles of his own design. So he recently founded the Flight of the Century to realize his vision for a long-range transatlantic plane that will be recharged mid-air by flying UAV battery packs. This will be interesting. He plans to pilot the custom craft along Charles Lindbergh's epic 3600 route in 2015 and is pioneering other innovative uses for his technology directed toward improving the way people and goods are transported in the future. Chip?
Good. All right, what do you think? So I got to wear my flight suit. I hung up my motorcycle racing suit, and I got to wear my flight suit because I flew here to Houston on Southwest Airlines. So it was like, who is this guy? Well, if a fire had broken out, though, I was the guy. So the last time I wore this flight suit, I was sitting in my electric airplane, and I was strapped in, and I'd put on my parachute, and I looked behind me, and there were the Canadian snowbirds who were going to go out after me. And in front of me were 100,000 people, and they were expecting me to set 2 world records, but what they didn't know is my airplane had just suffered a couple electrical glitches and failures, and I had just made an emergency landing the week before. And as I sat there at this air show, I wasn't even certain that it would fly at all, get off the ground, let alone set world records in front of these people. And so I'm sitting there, and I feel like, I'm sitting duck. I'm strapped in, and that's it. You have no choice. And they're like, Yates, are you ready to go? Do I have an option? And it made me think of Pete Conrad, and it made me think of, God, what would it feel like to be sitting on the tip of 6 million pounds of high explosives, getting ready to be fired up to walk on the moon? What would that even feel like? So I've tasted just 1% of that, and it's incredible. And let's see here. It made me think about Pete and what a pioneer he was, he and his colleagues of the time. And so, as we do sometimes, I turned to a dictionary online and said, what is a pioneer? I want to know. And like always, every time I search the internet, I'm disappointed, and I was disappointed in this definition. This is ridiculous. One who opens up new areas of thought, research, or development. Yuck. That's horrible. That's, so if you came up with a new ice cream flavor, you're a pioneer of gelato or something, That's not what a pioneer is. So here's your first lesson in innovation. If you don't like what someone's handing you, you rewrite it yourself. So I crossed out the dictionary definition of pioneer, and I made up my own, and I like it. Because I made it up. One who triumphs over the challenges of the unknown at great personal risk, so that excludes ice cream. Well, Ben & Jerry's, it's so fattening, to positively impact society. So think about the elements here in my definition that I'm proud of, is triumph. So you have to actually pull off what you're doing if you're a pioneer. Unknown, you're going into an area that no one's ever been, and no one really knows what the result will be. Risk, there's all kinds of risks, but the pioneers I'm thinking of, they all risk their lives to make the world a better place. And impact. Impact is really one of the things I want to talk to you guys tonight about. Impact is you get to the end of your life and you look back and you ask, did I make an impact? Did my life make an impact on the world? Did I help other people? Did I do the right things? Is the world better off because I lived here? And pioneers have impact. Now, you, of course, don't have to risk your life sitting on top of explosive rockets to be a pioneer, but all of us can have impact, and we expect you to have impact. That's the point of the Conrad Foundation, is to go out and have impact. We're in the impact business, right? We're not in the sit at home and watch a movie with a cat sitting on your lap business. We're not in the live a humble life inside your house and never leave your house business. The Conrad Foundation is in the big business of big ideas, bringing them to reality and making it happen, changing the world and leaving it a better place. That's the business that we're in. And you guys all signed up for it, so you're on the hook. You have to do it. So, think of the pioneers, Lewis and Clark. They had no idea. Pete Conrad, of course, sitting on the rocket. The Wright brothers, strapping yourself into an airplane when no human has ever flown before. That's crazy. And Lindbergh is one of my favorites too. So Lindbergh, what did he do? He flew across the Atlantic. What year was that? 1927. Lindbergh gets in an airplane of his own design, built by Ryan, one engine when everyone else was using three, and straps himself in there to fly 3,600 miles over the Atlantic with no hope of rescue whatsoever, okay? And what does Charles Lindbergh bring in that airplane to ensure his safe arrival? Ham sandwiches. Come on, guys. God, I have to say everything. He had a huge sack of ham sandwiches, so he was a pioneer of aviation, but he was a pioneer of in-flight food and meal service they took all that away, so we don't get that anymore. You have to pay extra for ham sandwiches now. But he had a bag of ham sandwiches. He never touched the ham sandwiches because it was 36 hours, and he was just trying to keep himself awake the whole time. He nodded off, dozed off, and this was before cappuccinos. They didn't have any Starbucks or anything like that. And he sort of barely made it, falling asleep. But he was a pioneer, and it made me think, I've got this electric airplane, I want to fly across the Atlantic too, but I want to do it in a different way. I want to honor his legacy and honor Pete's legacy of innovation by coming up with a strategy for getting a battery-powered electric airplane across the Atlantic. Well, it's a little bit crazy, but we're doing it. So this is an idea of having an airplane that I'm strapped into that has to have 5 recharging events to make it, because batteries just aren't that good, even the best. We have the best, and they're not that good. So the docking mechanism sort of looks like this, and right now we're writing software in California in the Mojave Desert to make this all work. So this is our actual electric airplane, and we have a mid-air recharging probe on the front of it, and this is what we're doing. This summer we're going to pull off the world's first ever mid-air recharge of an electric plane. And it's fun. So what's on my palette is trying to make an impact in flight, trying to give people hope and inspiration, trying to do something that, it's kind of crazy, it's kind of out there, but if we pull this off, it's like maybe one day an infrastructure of recharging drones could allow heavy payload electric airplanes to fly. So I came up with an impact formula. Maybe it's a formula for innovation. And you have to start with a worthy objective, and all of you have done that. You want to make an impact. You want your lives to have had an impact, and so do things that are a worthy objective. There are so many things you could do, but just because you can doesn't mean you should. You have to find out what is the highest calling for your gifts and use them that way. So with a worthy objective, you have to overcome the risk equation, the bottom part of the equation, which are the things that try to stop you. And that's the area where I have the most fun, frankly. On the worthy objective, take a brilliant design, something creative, thinking outside the box, and execute it. Most ideas in businesses, the kind of things you guys are doing, most ideas fail because of a lack of execution. They fail for poor execution. And there's a bunch of reasons why that can be. One of them that I found is passion. So when you're doing your projects and you go back and you're going to take these things and make them really happen, you have to be passionate about it, because you'll find if you're working 12-hour days, 16-hour days, you might not be paying yourselves yet before you get full investment, that passion is what you need to make sure you actually get there, as opposed to just chasing money. Hey, I want to come up with an idea that makes a lot of money. It's very hard to put in the time required to make something successful if that's what you're doing. And then on the risk side, where I have all my fun on things that go wrong, I really do, it's ambiguity is an environment that you have to be able to thrive in to be an entrepreneur. Ambiguity is sort of you wake up and no one's telling you what to do. It's liberating and terrifying all at the same time. It's, I want to start this company, I want to change the world. What exactly steps should I take to make that happen? That's ambiguity. It's good and it's bad. Friction, the opposite of friction is sort of, inertia or momentum, and both are troublesome. Friction is the world doesn't want you to take them on a different road. And inertia is maybe like a big aircraft carrier. It's already moving and you're trying to steer it because you want people to think differently. Overcoming those, and then failure is my favorite. And I say this, I always talk about risk and failure and failures and risk. And I owe more of our team's success to how we handled failures than any other single factor. So more of the things that we consider successes are thanks to how we handled failures, for sure. So failure is not something to be ashamed of. It's make it happen, find out why, and then grow from it. Adaptation is, no matter what business plan you guys have written, and if you're winners here tonight, God bless you, but no matter what, your plan is going to change down the road. It just always does. If you're on the right track and you've come up with a great idea, almost by definition, it's not going to work the first time. It's just not that easy. If you're doing something important, if you're doing something that's really going to change the world, it's going to be fraught with twists and turns. And investors, venture capitalists, angel investors look for teams of people like you who things are going to go wrong. You're going to lose the big launch customer. You're going to have to make pivots. Okay, that's adaptation part of the equation. So I want to show you this just for effect. Okay, this is the timeline that we built this electric airplane. It was built in 2 months. We bought it here in Texas, put it on a U-Haul and drove it back to California, tore the wings off, designed an electric powertrain based on our electric motorcycle, put it in. I got my pilot's license on the 12th. On the 14th, we taxied it. We set the world record on the 19th. It blew up, and I had to make emergency landing on the 19th. And on the 20th, we towed it to Wisconsin. So that's a 2-month program. Now, why did that happen? This is a picture of the cockpit filling up with battery fumes because no one had ever flown a 450-volt battery pack. No one had ever pulled 600 amps continuously out of a LiPoly pack in a situation like this. We were making 258 horsepower. That was 4 times more powerful than any electric airplane. And going 220 miles an hour, things were shaking and buzzing and rattling. And it's some crazy onboard video, but we ended up having to make an emergency landing that first time. But I look at that, and when you we're in the cockpit of the airplane, the batteries blew up and I lost all power, but we just set the record, so I thought, well, at least I'm going to die in a blaze of glory. But the arrow is pointing to a road. It's actually called Brown Road, and I thought, I'm going to have a brown out here when I crash my airplane in this Brown Road. And so I lined up with that, and I was really going to land on this road. And I thought, this is going to be bad. And my safety pilot was flying behind me. He said, I think you can barely make it if you just stretch it and glide. And he talked me in. And that's a decent YouTube if you're bored one night. But to summarize the electric airplane program, it was me and 2 volunteers, period. And we never had any outside funding. And so we built this electric airplane in the 2 months. We set a bunch of world records, went 220 miles an hour, filed 2 patents on it because we had to innovate stuff that just wasn't going to work. Made 3 emergency landings, sorry about that. Made the cover of Wired, helped to inspire the electric airplane industry. And the most important thing I think we did is beat gasoline airplanes. So what we found with this electric airplane was, why do electric motors perform well as they climb? Why do they perform well at high altitude? They don't need oxygen, right? So, that was sort of a side benefit of building this thing, that we were setting this one climbing world record, and we took off and set this record, and we outperformed every gasoline-powered single-engine airplane in the world that you could buy from any manufacturer. So if you look at that, it's in 5 minutes and 32 seconds, which is our time to climb, we made it to 10,000 feet. That's the record. Well, if you look at the other planes, these are planes you can go out and buy. A Cirrus SR-22 G2, it's a turbocharged, beautiful airplane, $300,000. When I was at 10,000 feet, that person would be at 6,600 feet. The Cessna would be at 4,000, and the other Cessna 172, the ubiquitous trainer, would be at 2,000 feet while we were at 10,000. So we just murdered the existing gas planes by the world's biggest manufacturers. And then the other day when I was embarrassingly flying in my flying suit on Southwest Airlines, I started my stopwatch right when we started rolling, and I said, I want to do a time to climb on this Boeing 737. And we took off and we climbed to 40,000 feet to come here to Houston, and we did it in 21 minutes, which is 1,900 feet a minute. And our electric airplane climbs at 2,000 feet a minute continuously. So 3 guys in a garage built a plane that can outclimb an $84 million jet by Boeing. And this is what it looks like climbing. So I'm holding the brakes, and I'm rolling up the throttle, and I'm releasing the brakes, and now the stopwatch is going from here to 10,000 feet. There's my fire truck. I'll spare you the rest of it. Take my word for it, we made it to 10,000 feet. So we get up there, and actually I overshot. I get to 15,000 feet, and it was in the morning. It was unbelievable. I had that feeling, and I'm just trying to think what it would be like for Pete to be walking around on the moon and then come home. You know, you can't even compare. But in my little world, being up there at 15,000 feet in an electric airplane that we built with no money, and seeing it felt like, God, is that the curvature of the Earth? No, it wasn't. But it looked like it. Take a picture of that. And then we came back in, we glided down, and we were able to regenerate electricity on the way down because it's an electric motor, and so it has a regen mode. We're coming down, we made some power. And then as we came down, we had some cameramen there, and we said, hey, we're going to do a low pass. And my fire truck, since I hadn't crashed, didn't need the water. And so he thought, I'm going to spray the water at Yates when he comes by. So this is our victory pass for the fire truck. I love it. Just a little bit of nonsense after a world record. So in the equation of innovation and the stuff that I've said, where does money fit in? How important is money to anything that I've told you so far? It hasn't been important for us, okay? It's always great, okay? Don't get me wrong. But in the equation, we have to be careful how much emphasis we put on money. We built this plane for the price of a Toyota Camry. Thank you, Toyota. We did not have a license to use this picture. It's trademark infringement. Copyright infringement, sorry. It's all kind of infringement. I'm an infringer, I give it. So in 2 months, and for the price of a Camry, we built this airplane that beats, a Boeing 737 in climb. So it made me think, and it's a good lesson for everybody here, is being underfunded, does that make you the underdog? And if you take Boeing and their $87 billion company, 169,000 employees, and you take me, we're $0 billion and no employees. We have 3 volunteers. And you said, okay, Yates, Boeing, build an electric airplane that beats all gas airplanes and do it in 2 months. Ready, go. So who would win that? Yeah, we would win that, right? Well, you would win that if you were in my place. Well, I would win that. You win that 10 times out of 10. So when you're competing with large companies with your business plans, don't compete head-to-head. You got to compete asymmetrically. This is like asymmetrical warfare. Go after things that require innovation. Go after things that require you to move quickly. A company like Boeing, bless their hearts, I used to work there, couldn't figure out a meeting to set the third meeting in 2 months. And we've done this before. We had this electric motorcycle. And we built this electric motorcycle, and we had to file 3 patents on things. We had to figure a way to get electricity from the front wheel, and we invented this system here that would regenerate electricity from the front wheel of a motorcycle to recharge the batteries, because we designed an electric motorcycle we wanted to beat gas. And at the end of the day with that program, a couple of unfunded clowns in a workshop, just like you, I'm not saying you're clowns, or that you have a workshop, set a bunch of world records, went 201 miles an hour on a homemade electric motorcycle, powered by nothing but batteries. Filed 3 patents, were on the cover of Popular Science, Inspired Industry, and beat gas again. Again beat gas. This is my favorite picture. So this is me riding this homemade electric motorcycle, and some of it's great and some of it's a little bit ragtag, and we're beating a Honda CBR 600RR on track. And Honda is an amazing company. This is another example that I want you guys to take to heart. Honda makes $104 billion a year of revenue, bigger than Boeing. 190,000 employees. We have 0, well, you already know. So if you started a race and it was Honda, Yates, build an electric motorcycle that can beat gas motorcycles. Ready, go. Who wins that? Okay, thank you. I like this crowd. Keeping you. Do you have plans later? Okay, so the takeaway here is that it feels like you're the underdog. You're small teams, you're looking for funding, you've come here, you got selected because you're brilliant, you have merit, your ideas have merit, the Conrad Foundation has seen merit in what you're doing, and you're looking for funding and you want to take the next step. But my message to you is that your success is not dependent on whether you win or lose tonight. Winning is always great, okay? But 100% of whether you succeed or fail is up to you. Now, there's going to be things that happen that are out of your control, but ultimately, whether you succeed or fail, 100% is up to you. So ask yourself, do you need to win tonight to be successful? No, you don't, right? I mean, if you have a plan, and it's a good plan, and you're committed, and you've worked hard, winning tonight is fabulous, but it's not a deal breaker. I've never won anything like this, so you'd be at my level. Come down and join me in the world of unfunding. Talk about Top Ramen. I should be sponsored by Top Ramen, huh? Cheapnoodles.com. Look, I still have space. Well, we got Pepsi guy here, right? Pepsi, we got Pepsi here. Have some Pepsi afterwards. I don't have a copyright license for that either. Gonna handcuff me afterwards. You, sir, Toyota Camry and Pepsi. Ask yourself, are you successful at the end of your life? This idea of impact. Would you consider yourself successful if you've impacted the world, but you didn't get rich? Yeah. What if you got rich, but didn't impact the world? You know, there's a lot of people like that. Underfunded does not make you the underdog. We built the world's fastest electric motorcycle, the world's fastest electric airplane, and we're going to fly across the Atlantic Ocean in an electric airplane being recharged by 5 UAVs, and we are in the same boat as you guys. I want to set off that last video if we can, guys.
It's been a wild journey. My name's Chip Yates, and I'm an extreme electric vehicle innovator, designer, pilot, motorcycle racer, and we've been out in the desert and we've been killing it in this electric airplane that I am leaning against right now. Electric motors are the future, and over the last couple days we've been out here with Red and we've been just owning world records.
What does it take to make a world record? It takes the best of the pilot, the skill, the technology, the aircraft, the time, the weather, the location, everything has to come together.
Teaming up with Red when you're pushing technology is the way to go. We're independent guys, we're out there, we're setting a little bit of a revolution, and we believe in a future where you don't have to take what people hand you. This plane is flying 220 to 230 miles an hour. We're doing rapid spins, we're doing aerobatic maneuvers, we're literally doing barrel rolls, flying upside down, climbing up to 15,000 feet. So we have come back with absolutely epic footage off the Red cameras that has been completely inspirational. We're able to stop it. We're actually able to slow it down so much that we can see technical problems, we can see wing flutter, we can see small oil leaks. I want people to come by and say, this thing smells like America. This thing reeks of being American. This is like a couple unfunded dudes coming together on weekends, building something as a point of inspiration maybe, as an example of what's possible if you drive hard, if you push technology. Looking at what we've done with very few resources and just a lot of heart, I want people to look at that and say, is there a way we can get back to where everybody was building stuff, everyone was innovating? This is a company that stands for innovation. Red's a company that stands for innovation, and technology's here to stay. It's up to each of us to literally wake up in the morning and say, what can we do? How can we do our part to build something that defines the future?
No pressure, but the future of the world depends on you guys. You know, really, what you do is totally in your control. Now, if tonight you don't win, I want you to walk up to the people that won and shake their hands, look them in the eye, and congratulate them. Take it on the chin, and I want you to go home and execute your plan. Okay? Pete and his legacy demand that we be professional, that we do things that are big thinking, that we change the world, and we respect each other. And there's two kind of people that are going to leave here tonight. There's the winners with the money, and the winners who, just like me, need to go out and find their own money. Okay? I believe in you guys. Go make us proud. Thanks. Oh, the clicker. I don't know if you use it.
Chip. 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 You didn't get a Conrad hug or nothing. Why? Is there any question why Chip Yates is our spokesperson? So, pretty cool, huh? Well, now we start some other fun. And Chip, you're such a rock star. It's so much fun to have you here. And you're a wonderful teacher to our students. And we also have many wonderful teachers that are here with us tonight. And every year, it's been my honor and my privilege and my pleasure, really. I am a teacher, as we've shared. And I support the Teacher of the Year Award, and that is my special gift to a teacher who I think has gone above, beyond, has what Pete would call the right stuff, and who's creative and innovative and amazing and inspiring and everything that we would hope for in an educator. And wow, we have someone this year who not only is a complete education rock star, but she actually got 6 teams here to our finals. That's insane. I mean, we've never had that before. So it is my absolute pleasure to present Dr. Myra Halpin from the North Carolina School of Science and Mathematics. Come back. So I'd also like to welcome to the stage Dr. Todd Roberts, the Chancellor of North Carolina School of Science and Mathematics. Is he here? No? Huh? Where is he? Huh? He was supposed to be, well, he's here in spirit.
Okay.
He's with Pete in spirit.
Okay, in spirit.
So here's what happens with the prize package. So this is really kind of quirky, weird, woo-woo, crunchy stuff. This trophy was designed by Eric Lindbergh, who is the grandson of Charles Lindbergh. And yeah, crunchy, right? And that trophy is going to go to school, and it will be there for a year, and you get an awesome plaque that goes with it. And so you are the location of the Teacher of the Year Award and the Eric Lindbergh, trophy. Charles Lindbergh's not around. You get to have that for a whole year, and that just hangs at your school. So that's cool.
Good. Well, thank you.
Excuse us, we have to do a little photo op. Me too? Yeah? Okay. Oh, and all the goodies. He's got goodies. So this is all going to be at your school, guys. How cool is that? Let's go by the trophy.
Close together.
Boy, how do we clone her? That'll be a challenge for next year. So, do you want me to do this next one, Jack, or are you doing? Okay, Jack's doing the next one, Your Lordship.
So part of our program is has some special things that we do in concert with some of our sponsors, and then to set up the opportunity to take your inventions to the next stage, to commercialization. So the first thing I want to let everybody know about is in our partnership with the Intellectual Property Owners Education Foundation, they award a $5,000 additional award to be used for the purpose of offsetting patent application fees. They will announce that award recipient after the challenge is over. But if you are interested in that, you should submit an application to be considered for this award, and all that information will be available through our website. In addition, this year, we have a special set of awards that the Creative Artists Agency has given us. 2 teams will be given awards worth $1,250 as an additional incentive or empowerment so you can continue to work on your inventions, separate and apart from the awards that are going to our Pete Conrad Scholars. In addition, this year, we have a special arrangement with the NASA Goddard Space Flight Center. Their Technology Transfer Office has given us a set of over 25 patents and patent applications, NASA technology, which can be used to develop the inventions that you've already made and will be available to our contestants next year to be used in their inventions. So we'll put some more information about that up on our website, and I invite you to look at that. I have seen a couple of ways in which it would fit with some of the inventions we've seen here now. All our finalists are able to take advantage of that. I've told you, I think, before about the Brain Trust. This is our term for the help we try to provide to the finalists who have come so far and put so much of themselves into this challenge. I would now like to invite up to the stage Madison Jones, one of our alumni, and a Pete Conrad Scholar in the aerospace category in 2011. Madison?
Hello, everybody. Hey, Nancy. How are you? You've made it to the end of the Innovation Summit. So let me say congratulations, because you are officially our newest generation of Conrad alumni. As alumni, you get to receive really cool opportunities, including ongoing access to mentors, updates on funding, and other grant opportunities. For me, I love being an alumni, and I've really loved having this special experience to come to Summit this year and to meet all of you. You are amazing. You are so gifted, and you are inspiring. Be proud of what you've accomplished in just these past few months. And on behalf of all the Conrad alumni, again, congratulations and welcome to the alumni community.
Thank you, Madison. All right, I'd now like to invite back up to the front the Queen.
And his lordship, wow.
That's right. So, the moment you have all been waiting for, who will be named this year's Pete Conrad Scholars? in aerospace and aviation. This week, we are privileged to meet the young innovators who are envisioning new ways to explore our world. Product ideas included a device to transform waste oil into biodiesel for airplanes, UV light and HEPA filter to provide clean air during commercial flights, peristaltic pump which functions without moving parts, a device to better assess storage availability on planes for safer and more efficient air travel. It is with great excitement I announce this year's Aerospace and Aviation Pete Conrad Scholars Team.
Ta-da.
Team NCSSM from the North Carolina School of Science and Mathematics. Margaret Pan and Christopher Yuan.
He actually threw out the pen yesterday, so he can't be
Well, we lost a teammate.
All right, so congratulations. Cyber technology and security. Teams this year wowed us with a variety of uses of today's modern technology. The products included increased online account security protection, a device to assess a driver's distraction level to improve on-road safety, a bionic glove that predicts the user's tasks, a computerized speaking advice to assist those with muteness and other speech impediments, and a system that combines ultrasonic infrared sensors and radio frequency identification to aid the visually impaired. Each of them in their own right has excellent uses in the marketplace. This year's Cyber Technology and Security Pete Conrad Scholars Team is Team Puzzlebot. North Carolina School for Science and Technology. Soren Kantasaria, Sammy Liu, Jenny Wang, Alan Yang. Congratulations. I think you have to go over and be with them.
Okay, wait, I'm coming.
Energy and environment. Developing entrepreneurs who have an understanding of how science and engineering can make the world cleaner and more efficient so it can endure through the ages is part of what makes the challenge so special. This year's finalists developed a unique industrial tubing for cleaner processing of liquid food products, piezoelectric generator that stores energy created by the wearer, a water collection product that provides clean water with minimal environmental impact, a new maintenance-free planter that supports large-scale planting in remote locations, and an avant-garde oil spill cleaning that increases efficiency and decreases collateral damage during the cleaning process. This year's Energy and Environment Pete Conrad Scholars Team is
Ta-da.
Team Wasor from East Chapel Hill High School. Wen Tao Zhang, Jordan Cho, and Caleb Kang. And Our fourth category, health and nutrition. The finalists in the health and nutrition category chose to focus on finding ways to improve the lives and well-being of others. 2014 finalists developed the following health and nutrition solutions: a device to reduce essential hand tremors, a bracelet to help autistic children better integrate with their peers and society, a microchip sensor to monitor blood glucose levels, and apps to improve food security and personal nutrition. It helps grocery shoppers identify food that present personal health risks. With great pride, I announce this year's Health and Nutrition Pete Conrad Scholars Team. Tremorex, the Columbus Academy, Columbus, Ohio. Meredith Schroeder, Varun Vallabhaneni, Alex Lyken, and Savannah Kofer. Congratulations.
Whoa, sir, I messed your hair up. Congratulations, we have to go over and do a photo op.
As you all know, the Pete Conrad Scholars Team gets a $10,000 prize to continue their inventive work. This year we are parceling that out into two portions, $5,000 now, and then in 6 months with a report on progress, another $5,000. Congratulations to all of the finalists and the Pete Conrad Scholars.
Oh, wow. So now that you're alumni, you know, those of you who are graduating this year, you can come in and mentor next year's students that are part of the Spirit of Innovation Challenges. And please do stay with us and stay in our community. There's stuff that goes on all the time. I'm speaking with, I don't know if some of you may have been here a few years ago when we had a team from Gulliver School and they created a water purification system. It's now deployed all over the place. And one of the students is going to be speaking with me at the U.S. Science Festival in Washington, D.C. On April 24th. So things like that happen all the time. So stick around our community because you're part of our family now. We appreciate you guys. So we need you to stay seated, and I guess we want to take a big class picture, yes? And Miss Carrie, you want to give me some shopping orders here? Oh, right. That's in my notes, which is on my other thing here. Stand by. Okay. So the Johnson Space Center Co-op, there's some guys that are here. They're going to be doing a music video, and they've invited you to participate in that after this, your photos and everything, and that will be in the theater, right?
And they're going to start here.
Oh, they're starting here? Of course they are.
We'll all be collected, and it'll be an easy way to
Okay, so they're starting here. So, safe travels home and stay in the family.
So for the photo, can we have the teams come forward, please?
Well, it's taped down, so be careful.
Thank you.